Have you noticed your dog looking at you differently lately? Maybe it's a look that lingers just a few seconds longer than usual, or a way they rest their head on your knee when you and Oppos read just sitting there, scrolling through your phone. Yeah, it's quiet. It's subtle. And honestly, it's one of the most beautiful, yet heartbreaking things you'll ever experience. Most of us want to believe they'll stay forever, so we tell ourselves they're just getting a bit older, a bit slower. But behind those graying muzzles and cloudy eyes, something much deeper is happening. Your dog ISN and Oppos, just aging. They are processing a transition. And if you keep treating these moments as just another nap or a random slow walk, you might be missing the most important conversation your dog has ever tried to have with you. Stay with me, because near the end, I'm going to share one specific behavior that most owners completely misinterpret as getting better when it and Oppos is actually their final gift to you. The shift in the watcher instinct. For years, your dog has been the guardian of your home. They barked at the mailman, they chased the squirrels, and they kept an eye on the door. But as they reach the end, that external focus starts to flip. You've probably noticed they don't care about the doorbell as much anymore. Instead, they've started watching you. It's a steady, peaceful gaze that follows you from room to room. Most people think their dog is just confused or looking for a snack. But research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, 2020, suggests that as physical faculties decline, a dog's social attachment becomes their primary survival and comfort mechanism. They aren't looking for food. They are imprinting your face one last time. They are studying your scent, your movements, and your presence. Yeah, you felt that gaze. It's heavy, ISN and Oppos, It feels like they're trying to memorize you. But there's a reason this intense staring happens mostly in the evening, and it links directly to a behavior we'll talk about in a moment. Seeking the quiet spaces or the Velcro shift. Every dog handles their final chapter differently, but they usually fall into one of two psychological camps. Either they become your shadow, what we call Velcro dogs, or they start seeking out weird, isolated corners of the house they've never used before. You might find them in the back of a closet or under a table they haven't and Oppos visited in years. It's easy to feel hurt by this. You want to cuddle them, but they seem to want to be alone. Honestly, that makes complete sense from a biological perspective. In the wild, an animal that is feeling vulnerable will seek a den to protect themselves from perceived threats. But here's the thing. If they are clinging to you, it's because you have become their den. According to Araujo, 2023, the surge in oxytocin, the love hormone, actually increases in senior dogs when they feel their physical strength waning. They are in and Oppos, being needy. They are looking for the only safe place they have left in a world that's becoming blurry and loud. And that same instinct explains why they might suddenly stop sleeping in their own bed to be closer to yours. The rejection of the routine. Think about your dog's favorite thing. Maybe it's the sound of the leash clicking or the crinkle of a treat bag. You've lived by these sounds for a decade. But lately, you've noticed the tail doesn't and Oppos wag as hard. Maybe they just look at the leash and sigh. It's a gentle rejection of the things that used to define their joy. Most owners find this incredibly depressing. You feel like they've given up. But psychology tells us something different. They aren't and Oppos losing their joy. They are shifting their priorities. To a dog who knows their energy is limited, a walk is no longer the goal. The goal is simply being with the person holding the leash. Psychology Today, 2021, notes that senior dogs enter a state of emotional economy. They stop spending energy on toys and excitement, so they can spend every last cent of their energy on emotional connection with you. They've moved past the stuff and gone straight to the soul. But wait until you see what happens when they suddenly, out of nowhere, act like a puppy again for just 1 hour. The final surge, the great misunderstanding. This is the point that breaks most hearts. You've been watching them decline for weeks. They're slow, they're tired. Then, one Tuesday morning, you wake up and they're fine. They're running. They're playing with that old tennis ball. They're eating like they haven't and Oppos seen food in years. You feel a massive weight lift off your chest. You think they're getting better. It was just a phase. You've seen this. You've probably smiled and told your friends your dog is back. But this is what vets often call the final surge or terminal lucidity. It is a documented physiological phenomenon where the body releases a final burst of adrenaline and stored energy. Scientifically, it and Oppos, often the body and Oppos, last attempt to maintain homeostasis. Emotionally, it feels like a miracle. But for the dog, it's their chance to have one last normal day with you. It's their way of saying, remember me like this. It's a beautiful, cruel gift. And once that energy's spent, they often enter the final stage I mentioned at the start of this video. The moment of peace, fulfilling the teaser. Remember what I said at the beginning? About that one behavior most owners miss? This is that moment. It happens right before the end. Your dog will stop trying to be a dog. They stop guarding. They stop asking for things. They stop the surge. They become incredibly, unnervingly still. And in that stillness, they do something remarkable. They comfort you. You might be crying or just sitting there with a heavy heart, and your dog who can barely stand will find the strength to nudge your hand with their nose. Or they'll let out a long, deep sigh while looking you in the eye. Research on canine emotional recognition shows that dogs are hyper-aware of human cortisol, the stress hormone. They know you are hurting. And even in their weakest moment, their primary psychological drive is to regulate your emotions. They aren't an opos, asking for help. They are trying to tell you that it's okay for them to go. They are giving you permission to let go because they've realized their job protecting your heart is finally complete. They're an opos. It's a good chance that right now, as you and opos, rewatching this, your dog is somewhere in the room. Maybe they're napping. Maybe they're staring at you. Or maybe they're just a presence in your heart. Look at them. Remember that look we talked about in the beginning? That gaze that lingers just a bit too long? It's not a sign of the end. It's a sign of a life well lived. We often think we are the ones taking care of them, especially at the end. But the truth is, even in their final days, they are still teaching us. They're teaching us how to be present, how to love without ego, and how to face the unknown with a quiet, wagging tail. If this video made you want to go find your dog right now and just sit with them, that's exactly the point. Go do it. Put the phone down after this. Because your pet deserves an owner who understands them this deeply, especially when the path gets narrow. Subscribe to join our community of owners who want to see the world through their pet's eyes. I've got more videos on the screen about how dogs show love. I think your dog would want you to watch them, so you can see just how much they've been trying to tell you all these years.